Hey Foreverlies, it is just Maddie right now, and I want to make Q&As just like a more regular thing and share about what's going on in my life, from the mundane things to the more serious things. So welcome back to Q&As with Maddie. I used to do these monthly, but kind of fell off, and I want to start making it like a sure thing. So let's try this out. So per usual, I just asked on my Instagram story, ask me a question, and we've got some questions. First question, I really like this one. Do you find it hard to manage your time between studying and being a mom at the same time? Honestly, not really. Yes, it's hard, but everybody has the same amount of time in their days. There's literally people running multi-million-dollar companies with their time, and I've found that a lot of my time is spent on things that I don't really need to spend it on, like scrolling on TikTok or maybe like shopping when I don't need to. So it's all just about time management. I'd say the biggest thing is if you're sitting, like nursing the baby, let's say, study while you nurse or work on assignments because you nurse. Doing something productive while sitting, because you do a lot of sitting with a baby, is the biggest thing that has helped me. Speaking of baby. Okay, this boy literally won't sleep for the life of him. But we do a lot of sitting. So I've replaced the habit of scrolling on my phone, which I still do. But I've tried to maybe read on my phone instead. Or maybe just scroll on like a hashtag like that has to do with something I'm learning or something that, or a class I'm taking. Like I'm about to start organic chemistry. I took, 4 months off of school after having Ryder. I only did a month after having him. Then I graduated with my associates, but I'm starting my bachelor's now. And I'd say the biggest thing, just really, you have to manage your time wisely. If you wake up at 6 o'clock and go to bed at 9, that's 15 hours. And you can use those 15 hours however you please. It's just about using them smartly. Okay, this one says, share something about Jesus and my testimony. I've kind of shared on my Instagram story my journey with going back to church and finding God again. And honestly, it's been a little bit hard because I have almost trauma with the church. Like I felt rejected for being a young mom at times. But I've found my church home and I really love it. I still have trouble, I won't lie. I'm a big proof person, and it's hard for me to just trust in God. But whenever I just take the time to read the Bible and go to church and serve at church, I just feel like the best version of myself. And just, I truly believe that God put me on this earth with a purpose. Just following the path that he has meant me to follow has just given me a lot of purpose in life. And it's still hard for me to really put it in words. I'm still really new on my spiritual journey, and there still is a lot of like things that I struggle with, I won't lie. But I've been going to church regularly for over a year now, and it's one of the best things that's happened to me. Is there any differences in raising a little boy than a little girl? I think every baby is different, and I don't think it's necessarily down to gender. I'd say for little boys, it's definitely harder to find cute clothes. That's a big one. I'll see the girl clothes at Target and just literally be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait until the day like I have another little baby girl, because girl clothes are so fun to shop for. Obviously, that's not the reason I want a baby girl. We want more kids regardless of what the clothes look like. But a big difference with Ryder in specific is he does not like to be babied or cuddled. If I hold him like this, like a baby, oh, he's happy right now, but sometimes whenever I hold him like this, he just gets mad at me. Oh, we're cuddling. He's not as cuddly as Everly was, for sure. He's just looking to escape and move around and grab stuff. He is very adventurous. Meanwhile, Everly, when she was a baby, she was very cuddly, and she would just like snuggle with me all day. I put Ryder on my chest and immediately like his head is up 90-degree angle and he's trying to get off. But they're both fun in their different ways. Everly was a big fruit girl. When she started trying solids, Ryder does not like fruit as much, and he likes meat. Another thing about starting food, I have another question about it. How old is he now? Looks like we started food early. He is 5 months old, and our pediatrician recommends that we start food at 4 months, and he gives us a schedule. It's what I did with Everly. It's what my mom did with all 5 of her kids. And I have had a few people on Instagram say stuff about it, like, because the recommendation kind of sways from 4 months to 6 months, and doctors recommend different things, but I mean, that's what our family does. It's worked for us. I do look for the readiness signs too, like he lost his reflex of the tongue pushing out of his mouth, and he started like grabbing at my food and showing interest in eating, obviously before I fed him solids. And honestly, we didn't start feeding him every night until very recently. So, but yeah, that's what our family does. We start solids at 4 months, but we go into it like pretty lightly. It's not like 3 meals a day at 4 months or anything like that. Honestly, for the first month, it was more like tastes. How has my parenting style changed with adding another kid? That's a great question too. I feel like with Everly, I was so young, I didn't really realize the importance of a schedule and what a schedule can do for a kid. Even just growing up, I realized the importance of a schedule, and now Everly is on a strict schedule. And so is Ryder. Just like a nighttime bath every night does so much for just helping your baby realize like, oh, it's bedtime, we're taking a bath, you know? And having consistent bedtime is also so important. Like for Everly, she goes to bed at 8. Ryder goes to bed at 9, which doesn't sound fair because he's younger, but that's how it works because he wakes up at 6. But just the consistent schedule is a huge thing. And I'd say I definitely got a lot stricter. Honestly, I kind of like feel bad for Everly because I'm a lot more informed as a parent than I was when I was young. And this is why I don't recommend having kids as a teenager, because you don't know the things you need to know to be a parent. But I've definitely become more informed, I mean, even scientifically, on different practices. Like me and Randy took a child psychology class together, and we got to learn a lot about development and how to aid in that, which was great. But I'd say I'm just a lot more informed now, and just things like schedules, what we're feeding our kids, and that sort of thing has changed a lot since growing up. Not even really since adding another kid. I feel like my parenting style has just changed as I've gotten older and more mature. Do I have Everly's baby clothes saved in case I have another girl? I do. I have like 10 boxes of baby clothes in my garage, I swear. I recently gave some of ours to a friend, but we still have so much baby stuff in our garage. We literally have a box just filled with toddler shoes. Speaking of having the baby stuff saved, do I want more kids? Yes. People think I'm crazy, but I think we definitely want at least 2 more kids. I know, I've done like this crazy switch up. People are like, oh, Maddie's the smart teen mom. She's not going and having a bunch of more kids right away. But honestly, I want a big family. I want to fill my house with love. Even though I'm young, I'm at an age where I can financially support my kids, emotionally support my kids, and give them a good life. I think those 3 qualifiers make me more qualified to be a parent than somebody who's 30 years old. I don't think age has anything to do with your ability to be a parent. And me and Randy, we want a big family, and we're just so blessed to be in the position to where we can have that big family and support them financially and emotionally. Honestly, we're just kind of playing it by ear. We're gonna see what happens. I just love being a mom, and it feels like my life's calling, but I also have my own identity outside of motherhood, and I want to go to school. I'll talk more about school stuff in a second. I have a few questions about it. But as long as my school and stuff goes okay and I can keep up with the course load and stay home and raise my kiddos in a way that I would want to, we will be having more kids sooner rather than later. I've gotten like a lot of comments like, don't turn into the Lambert fam, blah, blah, blah. I think that's such a silly thing to say because I do want a lot of kids. I mean, my mom had 5 kids. That's just my culture. I come from a big family culture. That's what I want out of my life. And now on the topic of school, I start my bachelor's degree in September. Technically, It's just one of the classes I need for my bachelor's degree. And then I start the actual program in spring of 2025. But by spring of 2026, I will, fingers crossed, have my bachelor's degree. And then I would like to pursue my master's degree. Honestly, okay, so I've talked a lot about going to medical school, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. And I do want to go into medicine, but I've also talked to a lot of medical professionals. I've talked to doctors, I've talked to PAs, I've talked to NPs, and one of the biggest consensuses that I've got from that is medical school equals debt, and you lose so much time. So honestly, I've been kind of like considering the PA route because you can switch specialties. You don't go $500,000 into debt, and you can still practice freely under a physician. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do yet. I just know I love research. I love medicine. I want to help people. But before I do any of that, I'm going to get my master's degree. So I still have at least 3 years left of school until I even think about that. And most of that school is going to be done from the comfort of my home with my babies. But honestly, if I'm in a place financially where I can stay home with the babies and rely on my husband's income, I'm going to continue doing my school and I'm not going to work. And my plan is to not go to an in-person job until my kids are at least 4. If the youngest kid is 4, I will go work in person so that kid can go to school. But I'm going to stay home with my babies for at least 3 years. That is my plan. And if I am in a situation financially where I do need to go and get an in-person job, obviously I will. But I don't see myself having an actual career until my babies are at least 4. Until then, I just want to expand my knowledge through school and maybe do something part-time in the research field if possible. I would absolutely love that, because my husband is a software developer, so he has the opportunity to work remote and stay home part-time with the kids eventually. But I think a lot of people get the idea that just because I want 2 more kids and I'm having kids so young is me forfeiting my career, and it is absolutely not. I'd like to say that right now and make that very clear, that I still have aspirations for myself and I will still be completing my bachelor's degree, my master's degree, and having a career one day. But just because it's not done in the traditional sense of going into the field right away or doing it online or not really knowing what I want to do, doesn't mean that it's any less valid. And I'm tired of being invalidated for wanting to have a family and go to school at the same time. Like, just because I'm doing both doesn't mean I'm neglecting one or the other. I mean, like I said before, 15 hours in a day, you can get a lot done in those 15 hours. But I'm not really sure what I want to do. I think medical school would be really cool, but I mean, if I can do the same things as a doctor, just without the title, that'd be cool. But I definitely want at least a doctoral degree. Medical school might not be for me. I think I would absolutely love it, and I'm so excited about the idea of going to medical school, but the finances are literally the only thing putting me off of it because it's so expensive. And that just kind of breaks my heart because I really, really want to go to medical school, and I'm really interested in pathology and psychiatry and radiology. But if that's gonna be like $500,000 in debt, I don't know when I could just be a PA and practice alongside a physician. It's really like been a struggle recently just considering it. I'm just gonna continue my schooling and see where it takes me and let myself be okay with not going to medical school if that's where life takes me. But I would still really love to go to medical school, and I'm really excited about the idea of it. Okay, let's find a more chill question. That was a lot. Ooh, this is not more chill, but I feel like I should answer this. How has pregnancy and birth affected your body image? First of all, my baby stole my butt. My butt's gone. And I feel like, this is gonna be so weird. I feel like for so long, since middle school, that has been like one of the features that people say is like a good feature I have, and now it's gone. So that's been like a kind of identity crisis. I know, it's so weird. So my butt is in my stomach now, and I just have a little bit of a mom tummy still. And honestly, when I look in the mirror, I don't really see myself, which is really hard, but I'm giving myself grace, and I'm giving myself a year to get back to normal. And I've just honestly been eating high protein, low calorie, and trying to lose that weight. I still have 10 pounds to go until I'm at my pre-birth weight, but honestly, how amazing is that? How great is that? 10 pounds in a year? Heck yeah, we can do that. But I have had issues in the past. He's trying to chew on my toe right now. He's not getting it. I have had issues in the past with eating. So I'm just giving myself like a lot of grace with dieting and trying to be really gentle with myself. Oh, I love this question. How has decreasing the iPad time with Ev gone? Oh my gosh, she is like a whole new kid. When she was about 4 or 5 years old, I decided that the iPad was just not the move, and I didn't want her on it as much as she was. And now she's down to less than an hour a day. Most days she doesn't even play on her iPad. We have restrictions on it. And when she does, she plays educational games and Minecraft. Minecraft is an educational game though, so. But I mean, honestly, I see her playing so much more. She's being more creative. She probably plays on her iPad like one day out of the week. And I love that. It's her choice. She's not even like going out and saying, Mom, I'm so mad that you're not giving me my iPad. It's her own choice. And I think it is one of the best things I could have ever done for my kid. I feel like her iPad was robbing her childhood. And I'm so glad that I was mature enough to say, hey, I did this wrong, and take a step back and back off of the iPad. I honestly kind of use the iPad as a crutch for parenting. So it's been a little bit harder for me, but I mean, she helps me in the kitchen. She helps me clean. She helps me with day-to-day tasks, and her face just isn't in an iPad, and I love it. We don't even know where the iPad is right now. Last week she asked me, where's my iPad? Don't know. We can't find it. And I just think it's great. If you are a parent to a child with an iPad, I totally recommend cutting down on that screen time and letting your kid learn to be bored again. I feel like that's the most important thing a kid can do, is be bored. How has Randy adjusted to being a dad? I feel like he was already a dad to Everly before I even gave birth. I mean, he's been in Everly's life for over 3 years, and the second he met that little girl, he was like a father figure to her. So I feel like there wasn't much adjusting to do. He loves Ryder. He's so good. The first month, like every single feeding I would wake up, he'd wake up, sit next to me, hold my hand, ask me if I'm okay. People get a totally different idea of Randy from my videos, because he is camera shy. He, believe it or not, is shy. He's just so good, and I'm so blessed. Like, I didn't touch a dish during my pregnancy. I wouldn't have to touch a dish right now if I didn't want to and I was busy with the baby, but obviously I feel like that's my responsibility because I'm home with the baby all day while he works. And he's just great. He's so supportive. He's so understanding. And during like the first month of Ryder being born, he took Everly to school every day because I was so tired from being up with the baby. He still takes Everly to school a few days a week. This little bug, this little ball. But he's just literally such a good dad, and just the way that he loves the kids is just so beautiful. And he's amazing. He's amazing. I can't say enough. I could go on and on about how great he is as a husband and a father. You got good daddy. Okay, we've got a few more questions. Oh my gosh, somebody said there's a page posting creators who exploit their kids, and I'm on there with Everly and Ryder. So many parents post their kids. If my kids ever say they don't want to be in a video, that's fine. Everly literally takes videos on her phone, and she says, hey guys, and like vlogs what she's doing, and I don't post those. She loves making videos. She loves being in them, and if that ever changes, they won't be in them. And I've been open about things in the past that I did feel were a little bit like exploitative, whatever the word is. Like whenever I used to like vlog ER visits and clickbait with my daughter's injuries, that was exploiting my kids. But what I'm doing now, just sharing the ups and downs and the beautiful things happening in my life, I don't feel like it's exploitive at all. Somebody asked if I'm secretly a clove of garlic. The answer is yes. What are some baby names that I loved but didn't use? These are gonna be like quick fire questions. The last ones were like long explanations, but these are gonna be easy. Shiloh, Bo. I feel like Shiloh and Bo are the main ones. I love the name Shiloh for a girl. I just think it's so sweet. Would I want to live in a different state? Nope, my family's here. And I mean, I would honestly go anywhere my family is, but I would never leave the state my family lives in. What meals do I give my child? So Everly is super picky, but I try to keep as much protein in her meals as possible. We do things like adding secret veggies to mac and cheese. She doesn't eat any real meat except for corn dogs. So she eats corn dogs for the protein. We do a lot of vegetarian meats, vegetarian chicken nuggets. She loves ramen. She loves spaghetti. She loves veggie sausages. She will literally eat like a pack of veggie sausages a day. For Ryder, we just do simple things like rice cereal, bananas, apples. We gave him a piece of steak to suck on the other night, and he loved it. How is co-parenting going? It's going really well. And I mean, obviously there is ups and downs, but I've kind of gotten into a place in my life where I don't share the downs of co-parenting because I feel like those are normal. And I definitely kind of exploited that situation on the internet for money. It's not gonna. I definitely kind of exploited that situation on the internet, and that was something very private that probably shouldn't have been shared. But it's out there, and hopefully it can help other young parents co-parent. But things are going really well. Everly's dad is great. His family is super involved in Everly's life. What book am I reading right now? I'm reading Pretty Girls, and it's dark. I didn't know what I was getting into. I just thought, oh, pretty locket. And somebody else asked how I find time to read. I have to sit down and nurse him so much, and he does not like to sleep without me sitting next to him. So I have read like 10 books in the past month just on my phone. It makes it super easy to have them as ebooks, so you can just read wherever. But yeah, I think my favorites have been Verity and The Silent Patient. Those are two must-read books for me. Okay, last question. Daily routine. I'll give you all a quick rundown. So we wake up at about 6 to 6:30. I get Everly ready for school. Make her some breakfast, make her school lunch, get her backpack packed, all that good stuff. Ryder usually just stays in his jammies while I do this. And then I drop Everly off at school. We usually like park and walk for a little bit because her school's not close enough to walk, but we still like to get some steps in and walk and talk for a bit. So we'll park like kind of far away from the school, and I'll walk with her and then just walk back to the car with my mom because she walks my brother to school too. And then when I get home, I'll usually do my dishes, vacuum my floors. I vacuum my floors every day. That's like the biggest thing. Throw away dirty diapers, make my bed. If I don't make my bed like first thing, I'm like cursed for the day. I don't know why. And then we will eat breakfast together. My current favorite breakfast is beef sticks with eggs. Told y'all, we're not playing with that high protein. And then I will usually study or edit or do just like work stuff for a few hours while he naps. Eat some lunch. And from like 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock is just honestly dependent on what I have to do for the day. Sometimes I will still work, sometimes I'll go and run errands, sometimes I'll clean. Then we get Everly from school, and after getting Everly from school, we either take her to her extracurricular of the day, or we go home and chill, or we go to my mom's house. And then dinner time, bath time, bedtime. We always read Everly a story at nighttime. And Everly goes to bed at 8, Ryder goes to bed at 9. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.